Hello, friends. How are you? Happy Friday. Yay, happy Friday. So, today I want to talk to you about eating more and not less whenever you want to lose weight. This is a very common misconception that I hear all the time when people are dieting. They cut back, they count calories, they count carbs, they skip breakfast, they skip meals. They think by eating less, they're taking in fewer calories, they're going to lose weight. This is exactly the opposite of what's going to happen. And I want to talk to you and explain why that is. It's because whenever we eat less, our body will hold on to whatever it can get its hands on. Okay? So if we are eating less, then it's going to start storing fat. It's going to put up for the winter. We've talked about that before. Whenever we don't eat enough, our body thinks that it's not going to get fed. So it thinks it has to start storing up for the winter. So what that means is it's going to start storing fat and holding on to whatever food that it can, because it thinks it's going to have to start using that, okay, because you're not going to feed it anymore. And in a sense, that's exactly right. Whenever you skip meals and don't eat enough, or simply say, well, I'm just going to drink a shake and not eat anything else for the rest of the day, or I'm just going to try to get by on salads and not get enough protein in, the exact opposite's going to happen. You won't lose weight. Your hormones are going to get out of whack because of the ups and downs in yo-yo dieting of not giving it good nutrition. And then what happens is our hormones that tell us when we're full and our hormone that tells us when we're hungry is what gets all jacked up. So therefore, our mind and those hormones are just crazy up and down, and so we don't know when we're really full and when we're really hungry, and we just eat for the heck of it, or then we don't get enough. That's kind of what happens when our hormones gets out of whack, and then just a domino effect happens, and more. It's just a downfall, okay? As well as we cut back on our carbs. That's our energy source. And FYI, public service announcement, fruits and vegetable are carbs. So anytime I hear people say I'm going low carb, no, you're not, if you're still eating tons of vegetables or fruits. But what we really mean by that is lower grains and lower starches. You know, our higher starch foods like our potatoes and breads and stuff like that, those are our higher starches. So really, that's what a lot of people mean whenever they say they're going low carb, is they're cutting out a lot of those starches and grains. But I want to give you a better idea of what it looks like to eat more, okay? So let's say, for example, a typical day of breakfast. I'm going to tell you what I do a lot of times for breakfast. I eat bacon, moderation, nothing wrong with that, okay? Some sort of protein, whether it be 2 boiled eggs or a couple of scrambled eggs. I'll do an omelet a pretty good bit with some spinach added, but that's not just what I'm doing. That's a protein and vegetable only. I like to start my day out sometimes with a good carb, and that could be steel cut oats with some fruit added, with some walnuts or pecans added. Okay, I'm starting my day off feeding my body with nutrient dense proteins and good carbs. Oatmeal by nature is gluten free. Okay, so I know we've talked about gluten and being gluten sensitive, but oatmeal, if you find an oatmeal box that says gluten free and it's a marketing ploy, oatmeal by default is gluten free anyway. So that may be what I have for breakfast. A snack may be another couple of boiled eggs or some carrots, fresh fruits. A protein shake with your fruits and spinach added, okay? Then for lunch, I may have a big salad as big as my head. I love salads if they have all the right stuff in there. I've seen some people make salads using a mixing bowl, but they have lettuce, no nutrient value there, covered in cheese, higher fat, covered in fake ham, you know, that we see on the salad bar. Again, that's fake food. Sandwich meat, I'm sorry to tell you, it's fake food. And then literally covered in ranch dressing. That's not the kind of salad that I'm talking about. I'm talking about real food, nutrient dense salads, such as your greens, whether it be your romaine, your green leafies, like your spinach and whatnot. Go low on the cheese. If you need to choose cheese, that's fine, but just go with a little sprinkling. I like to cover my salads in vegetables. Not all the other high fattening stuff, but that's the whole point for me is eating a salad, is to get a ton of vegetables in with one serving, with one sitting rather. I want to get as many vegetables as I can at one sitting. Because to be honest, it's hard for me to get vegetables in too. That's why I try to add spinach to an omelet, or that's why I try to add spinach to my protein shake, because it's hard for me too. But if I can get a good salad in for lunch, then I'm packing it all in. It's more bang for my buck. And then I like to put maybe some chia seeds on there or some walnuts. That's healthy fats. That's got all those good omegas in there. And then I like to use a balsamic or a light vinaigrette. So do you see the difference in just moderating and changing up your salad a little bit? You're going to now get a good nutrient dense, packed, healthy salad, okay, as opposed to the other. Okay, so that could be lunch, but I'm not just going to stop there. I'm going to add a chicken breast, or if you saw in a previous post where I went to Ruby Tuesday for a takeout, and I got them to make me a salmon steak on the side. And I'll do this a lot of times whenever I go to a restaurant. Feel free to moderate and to ask for something on the menu that may not be. So a lot of times I'll just get a salad, but I want them to add a chicken breast or a salmon to that, again, because it's packed protein. That's the whole point, is I'm trying to make sure I'm getting my protein in. Okay, so then in the afternoon, a lot of times I'll work out right after lunch or sometime mid-afternoon. Well then, especially after my workout, I'm going to make sure I do another protein shake. Protein shake after a workout is really important because your muscles are broken down, your sugar storage is low, so we need to replace it pretty quickly to feed and nourish those muscles. So a lot of times after workout, really important, 30 to 45 minutes max, is to make sure you're getting in your protein source. So that's your afternoon taken care of. So then for supper, I may do a pork tenderloin. I do that a lot. It's a lean meat. Again, chicken, vegetables for sure. If I have extra salad, I'll do that. Let me tell you something too about getting in your starches. I try to start my day off with my starches and taper. So like if I'm at breakfast here having my oatmeal, and then at lunchtime, let's just say I do have some sweet potato fries or a sweet potato, then I'm tapering off towards the end of the day. Unless it's after a workout. But if it's not a really good workout day, I'm definitely going to taper. I'm just going to go down just like that, starting my grains and my starches higher in the morning, and by lunchtime I may have one, and then by the evening and supper time, I'm going to eliminate those together. So think about that too, especially if you're not working out or exercising too much. Start at the top and work your way down. And the reason why is because the more starches that you take towards the evening, the more sugar, the more carbs you take towards the evening. This is another reason why we may not do as much fruit in the evening or with supper or with a bedtime snack, because they're carbs too, remember, is because if you're not burning those carbs off as energy, your body has a tendency to store that as fat. So that's why we want to start higher in the morning and work our way down. It's because by the end of the day, your body's burning that energy. But if you wait and save those starches or those higher carbs for the evening time and then go straight to bed, that's just going to sit on you all night, and your body has a tendency to store that. Unless, this is the difference, unless maybe in the afternoon after work or something you get in a really good workout, then it's perfectly okay to have that sweet potato or that quinoa or that wild grain rice or maybe that cup of yogurt, mixed in with your protein shake or whatever, after your workout, because your body's going to soak that up and soak those nutrients up like a sponge, and so it's going to be used. It's not just going to sit there on you all night. So I see Leslie is on. How are you doing, Leslie? And I know it's still late a little bit. The Facebook is delayed a little bit, but I hope you are well. I hope you're doing good. But y'all feel free to reach out and ask me any questions about that. Just to recap, we want to talk about eating more and not eating less to lose weight. Another thing that happens whenever we don't eat enough, our metabolism will slow way down. So not only will it stump our weight loss, it'll cause us to gain weight, it will get our hormones out of whack, as well as it'll shut our metabolism down. So it's really important to eat at least about every 3 hours. Don't go more than 4 hours eating, because you want to keep those nutrients in there. You want to keep your blood sugar steady. You want to keep your body working. See, and if your body's constantly having to work, your metabolism is going to constantly be burning up in overdrive, okay? And that's what we want. And I've heard people say before, well, it seems the more I eat, the hungrier I get. So think about that. Think about the reason why. And that's because your metabolism is going up. The more you're eating, the more your body's having to work, the more energy it's burning. Okay, so it's moving. It's a machine. It's just steadily working. So it's saying, hey, we got to supply and demand, okay? So that's a good thing. It's not necessarily a bad thing. But just make sure you are feeding and supplying it with nutrient-dense foods. So you want to eat about every 3 hours, no more than 4. Make sure you're eating, some protein at every meal. It's essential to feed your muscles protein, especially when you're trying to lose body fat. It's essential. I cannot say that enough. It's essential to make sure you're getting enough protein when you're trying to lose fat. And that's why, the reason why is because we got to feed those muscles. That's going to jumpstart that metabolism, okay? Muscle fuels metabolism, so we want to keep that going. That's why I love shakes. They're quick, easy supplement. Get some vegetables in there. So you want to eat breakfast, get your protein, vegetables in, start your morning with your quinoa grains, more of your starches there. Start tapering off through the rest of the day. Unless you work out in the afternoon, then it's okay to feed those muscles. You got to feed those muscles. Yeah, that's it. So any questions, if y'all think of anything, if you're watching the replay, post some questions. That's what I'm here for. A couple of things that I did want to point out to you is to invite a friend if they need to hear this. If you got a friend who's starving themselves because they want to lose weight, they need to hear this. Invite them in this group for sure. The second thing, I've got a newsletter, that goes out twice a week with some information that I may share in that newsletter that's not on here. Click the link in the pinned post to get on that list so you can get the newsletter. And lastly, and more importantly, today is the last day to sign up for that 21-day challenge. You're going to get free coaching from me. You're going to get phone calls from me. You're going to get messages and emails. It's hand-holding. I think I said on that post, I'm going to hone in on you like a GPS to make sure you're doing it right, to make sure you're losing weight, to make sure you're educated, to make sure you're successful, to really jumpstart you and get you going with meeting your goals. Average weight loss is around 15 pounds. I've had over 20 lost in the 3 weeks. And again, it's just about changing the way we're doing things. Okay? And that's the big thing too. Nothing changes if nothing changes. You'll see that on every one of my newsletters. I post it a lot. Nothing changes if nothing changes. So it's time, ladies. It's time to change up what you're doing. If you've been doing the same thing over and over again, hey, Leslie, if you're doing the same thing over and over again with the same results and not the results you want, it is time to make a change. It's 3 weeks. It is 3 weeks. And I dare you and I challenge you to see where you can be in 3 weeks' time and to see what will happen in 3 weeks' time. So yell out at me if you want to learn more about that. Look at that post. That is a fabulous deal on that 21-day kit. It's got 2 protein shakes in there. Those alone cost $36 a piece. It's got a cleanse kit that's going to help promote a healthy detox and digestion because it starts in the gut. We got to clean the gut. It's got a simple multivitamin in there. Everybody needs a multivitamin. It's a multivitamin. It's got another powerful antioxidant in there. It's got a weight loss booster, weight loss accelerator that helps to block and prevent that sugar storage from happening. But it's a critical supplement that also helps to regulate those hormones that are getting out of whack, especially those two hormones that tell us when we're full and tell us when we're hungry. It really helps to balance those out to get you back on track, especially after years of yo-yo dieting. And you're going to get a shaker bottle. All that for $150, ladies. You know, valued alone, it values at well over $200 if you bought all that separately. And then you're going to get free coaching from me. But nonetheless, I mean, it's time. It's time to make a change. It's time to see where you could be in 3 weeks. So I invite you to participate in that challenge just to see what happens. It's a win-win, okay? All you have to lose is weight. But I hope this was helpful to you. If it was, y'all let me know. Like it below, comment below. Let me know if this is valuable information. Let me know if there's something I haven't hit on that y'all want to know more about. I may put a poll out later for you to offer your own input for some things that you may need to hear more about that, you know, maybe I'm not touching on. Leslie, oh, how I can't wait to get my hands. I know the shakes are awesome. I mean, you just can't beat it. Very little sugar, like less than 1 packet of sugar, but they still taste great. All that good fiber. You can do so much with them. There's a protein shake booklet under the files tab. Make sure you printed that. But yeah, the shakes are great. Thanks, Leslie, for that. But anyway, I'm signing off for now. Y'all reach out to me. Let me know if I can help you anyway. And I hope you have a fabulous Friday and a fabulous weekend.